Mike?
Marge? Oh, jeez. Oh, you look great.
Yeah, so do you. Oh, easy there, easy there, easy there.
Fargo is practically a perfect movie. Roger Deakins' crisp, minimalist cinematography captures the beauty of the American Midwest in the snow. The Coen brothers' Oscar-winning script is a masterclass in storytelling. It's a heavily plotted crime caper, but it's focused entirely on its characters and their day-to-day lives. It has a totally idiosyncratic voice with a uniquely pitch-black sense of humor, and it deftly weaves ordinary human beings into a decidedly pulpy murder mystery. Marge Gunderson might be the best cop character in film history. She's sharp, inquisitive, tough, friendly, but not a sap, and she catches the bad guy without using excessive force. And she does it all while heavily pregnant. Fargo is one of my absolute favourite films, as it is for many people, and has been since I first watched it as a kid. But there's one bizarre scene that feels so incongruous and out of place that you have to imagine if the Coens were beholden to test audiences and meddling studio executives, it would have been cut altogether. I'm talking, of course, about the Mike Yanagita scene.
I was married to... You mind if I sit over here? I was married to Linda Cooksey.
No, why don't you sit over there? I prefer that.
Huh? Okay.
This scene stuck out to me on my first watch, and it has continued to stick out on my millions of rewatches, but it feels more profound and meaningful each time. The Coens included this scene for a reason, but what is it? Why does Marge have an awkward flirtation with an old friend from high school in the middle of her triple homicide investigation? Let's look into it. Supposedly, the reason the Mike Yanagita scene exists is because Frances McDormand asked the Coens to write a scene where Marge wasn't on the job and wasn't supporting Norm. In the original script they gave her, Marge only had two modes, tough cop and supportive wife. And she wanted a scene where she was doing something else to really get a grasp on this character. And this is what the Coens came up with. While Marge is in Minneapolis following up on a lead, she meets up with an old classmate from high school, Mike Yanagita, played by Stephen Park. Mike awkwardly tries to flirt with Marge before breaking down and confessing that he lost his wife.
I thought we'd have a really terrific time.
It's okay, Mike.
You were such a super lady. And then... I've been so lonely.
It's okay, Mike.
Later on, Marge learns from another friend that Mike lied. He was never married. He's just mentally ill.
It just seemed like it all hit him really hard. His wife dying.
His wife?
Linda.
Who?
Linda Cooksey.
No, they were... He was bothering Linda for for a good year. Really pestering her. Wouldn't leave her alone.
Marge realizes that if she could be fooled by Mike's lie, she could be fooled by anyone's lie.
They never...
No, they never married. Mike's had psychiatric problems.
Oh, my.
So she goes back to the dealership for a follow-up interview with Jerry, which sets her on the path to cracking the case.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, like I told you, we haven't had any vehicles go missing.
Okay. Are you sure? Because, I mean, how do you know?
The leading interpretation of this scene is that finding out Mike lied to her flicks a switch in Marge's head. If Mike could be lying to her, anybody could, including Jerry. So maybe she should reevaluate all of her recent interactions through that lens. But she's a cop, and a seasoned enough cop to not flinch at a murder scene. She's almost certainly been lied to before.
With respect, as an ex-police officer, if you hang around with criminals, you're gonna get lied to.
It does mean that she goes into her second interview with Jerry more prepared, but there would have been much quicker, much easier ways to show Marge realizing she'd been fooled by Jerry's Minnesota nice facade. There seems to be more to it than that. This is a heavily plotted movie with a 98-minute runtime. The Mike Yanagita scene has to have a deeper meaning to justify its existence in such a dense film with such a tight runtime.
So, Chief Gunderson then. Oh, so, you went and married Norm's son of a Gunderson.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Great.
Marge is a lot less naive than people give her credit for. The accent makes her seem like a simple, happy-go-lucky kind of gal, but that's not really who she is. Marge doesn't end up in Minneapolis by sheer coincidence. She personally offers to go to Minneapolis on a flimsy lead. Even the other cops seem surprised that she's willing to go all that way.
Okay. Yeah. Think I'll take a drive down there then.
Oh, yeah? Twin Cities.
Oh, yeah?
It's a long drive, it's not her jurisdiction, and the clue they're going off is basically nothing. But as soon as she hears Minneapolis, a switch goes off in her head. Mike lives there. Mike is obsessed with me. While she's there, she reconnects with Mike and gets all dolled up to meet him. I don't think she was planning to cheat on Norm. I've never seen a married couple more in love than those two. But I do think she was looking for the pick-me-up of being adored and pined after by this guy who was infatuated with her in high school. What tends to happen in the late stages of a pregnancy, and I've never been pregnant, so take this blanket statement with a pinch of salt, is that people stop looking at you as a sexual being, except people with a pregnancy fetish, and you start to feel less desirable. There's a whole Office episode about it during Pam's second pregnancy. I think Marge was starting her third trimester, she wasn't feeling very sexy or sought after or even seen. She saw an excuse to drive to Minneapolis, and she seized the opportunity to have an old friend come and fawn over her. But when Mike physically came onto her, it all became too real and she snapped out of it. But why make this a whole scene? Why take this detour? Superficially, it adds to the feeling that this is just another week in Marge's life on the job. We're seeing the world she lives in, how she spends her days. It's the same reason we see her eating breakfast with Norm, and drinking her morning coffee and having her morning sickness at a crime scene. But it goes even deeper than that. The overall point of the movie is that Marge can't make sense of it all, like Tommy Lee Jones in No Country for Old Men. Why did so many people have to die over this? The wife was killed because her husband was in debt and too proud to take charity from his father-in-law. The state trooper was killed simply for doing his job. The passers-by were killed just because they were there.
And for what? For a little bit of money.
Marge can't make sense of any of it, and she can't make sense of her interaction with Mike either. I still don't think we've quite gotten to the bottom of it.
I'm gonna slit somebody open like a fish and drink their blood. That's what I'm gonna drink. If we don't start getting to the fucking point here.
The Mike Yanagita scene encapsulates a key theme in Fargo: loneliness. Marge is isolated from Norm when she's on the job. Jerry starts to flounder and make mistakes when he realizes his plot to get out of debt might cost him important relationships in his life and leave him all alone. Carl takes an escort to a Jose Feliciano concert because he's desperate for human connection and the feeling of normalcy, and he certainly doesn't get that in his one-sided conversations with Gayer. Gayer is completely alone in that he's an emotionless sociopath. He doesn't fit in with anyone anywhere. He doesn't feel comfortable being on this planet. The only sign we have that he feels anything is his attempt to flee when Marge catches him. Mike Yanagita is a guy who's so lonely that he'll make up a story about a dead wife to earn some pity points. He's so lonely that he'll have an emotional breakdown just from being near a girl he pined after in high school.
That's what can you say? Oh, better times, huh?
Better times.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.